Happy Wednesday, everyone. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it's come up for me again today during my meditation, just around an experience that I had. This podcast is by Chris Hedder, I think it is, For the Love of Money, it's called, it's an amazing podcast, freaking amazing. And he talks about this idea of everyone's looking for stability, for financial stability and that kind of thing, and when really there is no such thing as stability. And he said what we need to focus on instead is our ability, so our financial ability, our ability to be able to create change afterwards, our ability to be able to pick ourselves up, keep going, that kind of thing, pivot. And I was just thinking, in terms of relationships and life and experiences and everything, that's kind of what we are looking for, the stability, the being able to find the happy place and stay in it, which is actually completely unrealistic. And while I was meditating, so sometimes while I meditate, I get this feeling to write and to journal, as though it's someone speaking through me. So I was journaling, and it was saying, remember when, so I was married for 12 years, or almost 12 years, and when we split up, I remember that being one of the first times particularly that I couldn't shield my children from pain. And I realized that I had to teach them how to be resilient, and instead of trying to stop them from feeling pain or save them from different situations, I needed to teach them how to handle those situations, because they're inevitable. It's just, shit's gonna happen. So I needed to teach them how to handle that, so creating an ability so that they start to feel a safety in faith in the belief that they can do and achieve things that aren't always guaranteed. So so that's something that I was kind of playing with, and I remember being in that place and feeling so much pain for them and their heartache, and going, hang on, that hopeless feeling, I can't save them, I can't stop the pain, I can't do anything like that. And then going, hang on, but I can teach them how to grow from this. And that's something that I think is one of my superpowers. I've been able to identify different growth experiences for my clients, through kinesiology, through my mentoring and that kind of thing, and for my children, and that's because I've been able to do that for myself. It's so hard to pivot and look for the lessons and that kind of thing, but something that I've realized through my life is any little piece of what I thought was stable or what I thought was safe or secure, it's almost it's shown me that you can't always rely on that for your feeling of safety, for your feeling of security, for your stability. You need to base it on something that is more in our power. No, it's one of the things we control. So I kind of, during this meditation, I was thinking, okay, so stability is kind of like control. We're trying to control everything. Now, how do we go about controlling the universe and outcomes of things? Well, we can't, basically. And the only true thing that we can control is our thoughts, which then determine our feelings, which then determine our actions and that kind of thing. But we can control our thoughts. And so that's sort of where it starts. And it's starting with a shift around, and this kind of gets me onto another topic, and I don't want this to be a long video, but I really just wanted to get this out and recorded so that I can look back on it later too, and kind of evolve the insight. But the control and the idea that things are happening to us, this victim mentality, that's coming from a very limited and unabundant and a blame perception. And whenever we blame, we are giving away our power. That's literally surrendering our power and saying, okay, well, I can't do anything about this. This was that fault and that fault. But when we take responsibility, and 100% responsibility for our thoughts, for what we decide to think, we can, it's kind of like, I actually had a therapist once say, and I loved this, the way of saying it, is thoughts are kind of like a smorgasbord. You get to choose what you indulge in. Like, do you want to have 5 pieces of chocolate cake, or do you just want to have a little bit? You get to choose what you indulge in. And I thought that was brilliant, because it's like, okay, this thought has popped into my mind, and we all get those random thoughts that pop into our minds. And it's like, well, is that going to serve me? Is that bringing me closer to where I want to be, or taking me further away? And so we get to choose whether we indulge that thought or if we let it go. So it all comes down to whether we see things happening to us, like all these things that are totally never going to be in our control. Are they happening to us, or are they happening for us? And if they're happening for us, then that kind of brings us into a place of being able to allow things to unfold and create intentions and working towards that, but ultimately detaching from the outcome and being willing to learn and grow yourself, learn the lessons that experience has for you. Anyway, I hope this makes sense. I kind of just really wanted to get the thoughts out, and I tried a new filter. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it, but you know what? Why not? Anyway, I hope you guys are having an awesome Wednesday, and have the best day. Bye.